Hey guys, I do have a Friday morning editorial for you. How do you like my face? This is called 4th of July at the lake. Let me fix this a little bit. I do have a Friday morning editorial for you. It's disturbing. We're going back to Maryland. We've been to Baltimore a few times. Now we're going to Aspen Hill, Montgomery County, Maryland. And we're going to look at, I'm going to put a link in the description box below. It's got two videos. The first one, if you scroll down the story, the first video is inside of I was going to say, I think it's a certain fast food restaurant. I'm not sure if it's the one I was thinking. But the officers are arresting the guy. The second video, if you go down, is him outside. Apparently, they took him back down to the sidewalk outside, and it's disturbing to watch. It's the police officer loses his cool, which is common. It's a lot of law enforcement officers have anger management issues. That's why they're in law enforcement. What better job to therapeutically take out your anger? So I'm going to go. And by the way, this is an update, the story I'm posting below. Thank you to Montgomery County Media for this story, MC Media. It's an update that this investigation has been turned over to the U.S. State's Attorney for investigation. There's a professional in here that I'm going to quote, a captain who says there may be charges coming out of this. So don't think for a minute that I'm just jaded when I say this is a disturbing video and this officer is a disturbing officer. A captain said there may be charges coming out of this, and the investigation went to the U.S. State's Attorney. So I'm not just talking, buddy. There's some professionals saying it. The story's in the link below. You can watch both videos. I recommend you do it. They're from Twitter, but they're in the story. The Montgomery County Police will discuss, that's in Maryland, by the way, the use of force in Aspen Hill arrest with the state's attorney after cell phone video showing an officer kneeing a prostrate man. He's already down and restrained, by the way. Captain Thomas Jordan, a police spokesman, was quoted as saying there may be criminal charges coming out of this. In the video posted on Twitter, the N-word and other verbal epithets can be heard. I couldn't hear the officer doing it, but the guy being arrested uses the N-word several times. Nobody should use that word. It's ugly. But we go on. Captain Jordan was quoted as saying, our preliminary review does not seem to support the officer in brackets, using the N-word. He said, we will review the arrest from the body cam footage of that officer. So apparently maybe the officer was heard using it. I mean, this captain says it. Another cell phone video published on Twitter by ABC 7's Kevin Lewis shows about a minute and a half of the young man's interaction with police inside of a McDonald's. That's what I thought it was, yeah. Now, the original post of disturbing videos have been posted to Twitter showing a Montgomery County police officer making an arrest, slamming an already prostrate young man onto a concrete sidewalk. That's the second video if you scroll down. A tweet from police said the department was investigating the incident, and the recording the officer uses the N-word and F-bombs profusely. The arrest was recorded on cell phone camera. Both videos are on cell phone, you can tell. Police said via Twitter the arrest took place in Aspen Hill, and the officers have been identified. The tweet says that the police are investigating the incident. The Montgomery County Police Department, on Twitter, they said the Montgomery County Department of Police takes any complaints or evidence of excessive force seriously. An investigation into this matter has been opened and will be investigated thoroughly. We've heard that before, and then we've heard the officers were justified in their actions. Montgomery County Councilman Will Jawando posted, quote, it's hard to imagine what circumstances would prompt the officer to use the level of force with a suspect who is already on the ground and restrained. I've spoken to Chief Jones, and the department has already opened an internal investigation, is what he said. Now, the video contained in the following tweet, there's two videos actually. Note some readers might find contents of those videos and the tweets offensive. There's tweets too. People are tweeting this thing left and right. It's in the story below. I didn't read any of the tweets for time's sake because I really do have to go. But I wanted to bring this to your attention. Another use of force that's gone over and beyond. You know, I mean, like I said, these officers, they get anger management. They need anger management problems. Some of these officers get out there and they get angry and they don't know what to do. They kind of, what do? I got this guy over there with a camera, or I got this guy doing this, or this guy's resisting me. And once he's handcuffed, he doesn't want to stand up. Boom, boom, boom. Stand up, get up, you know, or whatever. I've seen that before. I'm not saying that's in the video, but in the video, you do see them punching him profusely while he's laying on the ground. You see them jerk him up outside. The guy said, I spit on your foot. So what does he do? He starts pulling his hair and ripping his shirt up over his face. I understand that he wants to cover his face in case he spits again, but you don't have to pull the shirt up over his face and then start pulling his head back with the shirt because you're pissed off. That's wrong. This officer lost control. He lost it out there. He needs to go back to some type of anger management training. I know what some of you officers that are watching my video right here will say. Well, you've lost your control out there on the street. Yes, in reaction to officers who go above and beyond. I've never initiated a negative contact. It's simple, and it's always been verbal. Don't you ever say I've been physical with a police officer or a law enforcement officer. If you do, you're a liar. It's only been verbal, and it's only been in response to law enforcement officers who either try to intimidate or bully. Intimidators and bullies do not go well when I'm out there recording the police because it's unprofessional, it's not called for, it's not good public service. Okay? The way to handle somebody recording you is not to try to intimidate them or get in their face. It's to say, how you doing? Have a good day. Be safe. And you know the rules, and walk away. Why do I say that? Because it kind of bleeds over into what happens in these two videos down below. The officer lost control. He just couldn't handle it. Now, you don't say anything to the guy recording. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there is a type of habitual issue going on in this nation with law enforcement officers who just can't handle the control. They can't handle the authority. They have to somehow vent. They have to therapeutically let it go. And their therapy is people on the street, is people that they come in contact with, people recording them, people who break the law. Okay, if you break the law, you're going to jail. I mean, if you break the law, not if some cop says you broke the law and you didn't break the law. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen that where I saw a video where somebody pulled out and they had their turn signal on and they got pulled over, and some friends recorded it, and you could hear the cop say, well, you didn't use your turn signal when you pulled out. And the friends behind were like, yeah, they did. Things of that nature. But anyway, I digress. There's a problem going on where officers are out there. They just can't handle the control. They can't handle it. They lose it. And I'm talking nationally. We've seen it in Texas. We've seen it in Illinois. We've seen now in Maryland. I mean, what is going on in this country that officers just can't handle? I mean, are they training these guys? Well, yeah, they're training them. They go through police academy. Yeah, I've gone through a police academy. And what I've seen by some of these law enforcement officers in these videos does not jibe with what you're trained in police academy. It does not. I've gone through it. I know. I'm talking from experience here in education. News Now Yucaipa. Have a great Friday, guys. No drinking and driving. And if you got arrested for drinking and driving last night, you're an idiot. You're an asshole. I got to go, guys. I got to go get my coffee and get out of the house. Thank you. Have a great weekend. News Now Yucaipa. Letting you know what's going on across your nation with law enforcement.